Hello,
Hi,
I'm Tren,
I'm Lou.
and we're the tarot dealers.
We are.
Just in case you can't tell.
We are the tarot dealers. Yeah, we've been doing this gig for a long time.
Yes.
And we spend our time doing this because we absolutely love it. Just want to
We
share,
just want to
don't
share,
we?
we just want to pass on our knowledge
We do.
and then also, yes, we're passing on our knowledge, but we also we love it when you tell us what spreads you've done or what messages came from different cards, because it's like sometimes we don't see these things. So we love it when you give us your feedback.
Absolutely. We've been doing it a long time, but we're still learning, right?
Yeah,
And that's what I've
always.
learned about tarot all these years is that
Yeah.
that's what that can look like. So
And tarot's changing.
it
It's
is.
changing, or we're changing, so tarot's changing as well.
It's
So we've got
evolving,
to
right?
keep up with it.
We
So,
do have to keep up with it and
you know,
evolve with it.
yeah,
It changes with the generations, it changes with the times. Like it's
yeah.
yeah, whole other fucking conversation that
Exactly.
we
We're
could
not
have
we're
about
not
that.
going to go into
Yeah,
it.
we're not going to go into that today. So I'm going to draw a card for this episode, right? So
Yes.
the message for this
Yeah.
episode. What is the message for this episode? For the highest good of all and for the wider
Well, yeah.
collective, right? What is the message for today?
And just while Lou's shuffling, we're just going to see. Lou is a published author. She has her own book, which is The
Thank you.
Tarot Tells, which you can get on her website, which is lulufletcher.com.au.
Dot com dot au. Yeah,
And there's
absolutely.
lots of other stuff on her website, meditations, workshops, courses, all wonderful tarot related stuff. So go and have a look at it and get her book, buy her book.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Tren does this really unique modality called tarot and tapping.
Yes.
So, for those of you familiar with tapping or
Yeah.
EFT, it helps us regulate our emotions. It helps us understand what our emotions are. It helps us learn what the blockages are, what the messages are from our emotions, right? So, how the fuck does that work with tarot?
Exactly. Yeah. It actually allows you to settle your nerves, but it's also see a bit more clearly. So have a conversation with yourself and the card. And like if you are stuck on a certain card, you draw a card in the morning and you go, well, I don't know what this means. Tap through it, talk through the card. And the more you talk, the more messages will come through. On the flip side, if you've got a spread you've laid out for yourself or somebody else, and you are stuck, there's an emotional reaction to things, you can tap through that as well. So it's on very lot of layers that the tapping can go through. So we just
Yeah.
use it with the tarot, and it's not just the messages that come through, it's releasing a lot of stuff that we've been hanging on to for way too long.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can book in and have
Mm.
sessions with Tren around that,
Yeah.
whether you learn it with the tarot or you learn it for your own
Yeah. I
emotional
mean, yeah.
space, right?
Like I
So
said, you
yeah,
can do it yourself. You are the one doing the tapping. You're the one talking to yourself and not thinking about what you're saying. You're just allowing whatever to come out. And not
key
not
word
not
allowed,
fil not filtering.
not filtering. Yeah, yeah. Key
Yeah, it
takeaways,
is.
right?
It's allow,
Allowed, not filter.
not filter.
Yeah,
Because if we start, oh, I can't say that, oh, that I don't mean that I can't. We're bunching up again, we're tightening up again, and
yeah.
that's not
Choking it
helpful.
off, aren't we?
So if you just talk and let it go, you'll be surprised what your body is telling you about yourself.
Absolutely. Or about the card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. So
So sorry, I just had to say that. So we'll get back to the card now.
we'll get back to the card now. Thank you, Tren. So let me see. So today's card message for the higher collective, for the higher collective and for the highest good of all. What do we need to know?
Yep. What do we need to know for this episode?
What do we need to know for this episode? Okay.
Oh,
Wheel of Fortune. We're using the Rider-Waite deck here.
yeah.
So the Wheel of Fortune is the number 10 in the deck, and it's kind of like in the middle of the major arcana. So this speaks into shift and change. It also reminds us we need to roll with it, right? So the message for the episode is roll with
Roll
it.
with it. Go
Roll
with
with
the
it. Just
flow.
go with what's coming up, right?
Yes.
And that potentially, let's see where this takes us. But this can be the change that's happening. So there might be some change in how we deliver the content, or the content that we're delivering.
Yeah, it could be.
It could be. Fascinating.
Yes, it is.
See where that
I'm
goes.
looking at the Wheel of Fortune that cut. There's in the four corners, there's four figures and they all have books. So we're going to be doing a lot of learning.
We are.
We may be passing on some knowledge, but we're also learning ourselves, aren't we?
Yes, in this episode.
In this
right?
episode.
In
So
this
definitely, yeah. So
Yeah.
like we said, we are always learning.
We are.
Always
We are.
learning.
We love it. We
Yeah.
absolutely love it. So we're going to put that aside so that we can have a photo for that, because that's Tren's job. Tren does all that. Right? And this week we are
deep diving into the sun.
into the sun. So let's get our sun on, shall we? So the sun is a masculine energy. Like you might hear father sun, you know, grandmother moon, father sun, might be grandfather sun. I don't know. Anyway, it's masculine.
Yeah.
Don't mind me, it's masculine. The sun speaks into like joyful releases. It speaks into birth, rebirth, transformation in a way. It speaks into so many things.
Well, at least you've only just got to look at the
Joy,
cards,
happiness, abundance. Yeah.
And we've laid out a few different cards, but every card, it's got an excitement about it, a joy about it,
does
doesn't it?
have a joy about it. It's like one of the most positive, if not the most positive card in the deck, right? So what does it mean then, like if the sun's reversed? Like, does that take away everything?
No, I think you might be dulling things down within yourself. It's almost not, again, coming up to that, you are not allowing yourself to feel the joy, to feel the excitement. Maybe do you not feel like you deserve it? If the sun comes up and it's reversed, are you not allowing yourself to experience these things?
Very true. So let's see what we get out of our little deep dive, shall we? So let's start. So under the sun, everything can become simple, joyful, abundant, and childlike. So the sun reminds us to embrace our inner child, to be childlike, to experience the world through a child's eyes. Like it's all of that kind of stuff right now. When you look at the posture on the body language on the Rider-Waite deck, firstly, you'll see a little child sitting on a horse with arms open, right? That literally is saying that we need to be open to the joys and the experiences. Have you ever heard people say, yeah, I can't feel joy?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. And I have been in that situation where I haven't felt, you know, and it's like, oh, so this is reminding us that we need to embrace that and be open, right?
Open and in a sense, open to receiving it as well.
Well, that's the key, right? Are we in fact open to receive this joy?
We can say we're open, but then we block it.
Are we? Absolutely. And yeah, fascinating. You're definitely kind of changing a little bit here what we're going to do.
Yeah, okay. We'll get back to the sun.
I think that's good. I like it when we shift shit up. Now, the sun is card number 19 up here, right? Card number 19. So the one is the magician, right? And the 9 is the hermit. Together, you're not going to fucking believe this shit. Together, oh, where did I put it? Oh, I've shuffled it back in.
What were you looking for?
Here it is. Together.
Oh, together. It's the Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune. Hashtag, I seriously cannot make this shit up. So that's what they are. So what that means, like 1 and 9 equals 10, right? Which is the Wheel of Fortune. So asking us to roll with the change, right? So it's bringing in the energy the energy of life, which is what the magician does. He crafts all of that, right? So it's about bringing all of that in and uniting that with its meaning and purpose, which is the hermit. Because the hermit's learned.
Yes.
Right? He's learned and he's going to share that experience. So that's different messages from the sun when you look at the numerology and it, like, I seriously can't make it up. But yeah, everything becomes simple. It's the light of consciousness. That's what the sun is. It's a conscious thing, right? I believe in astrology, like it represents our personality. So it's like what we're putting out into the world, you know, like your sun, you've got your sun, your moon and your rising.
Yes.
So yeah, your sun is, that's what I believe.
What people see.
What you want them to see, right?
Okay, yeah.
Because the moon
hides things.
It's the reflective piece, right? So so the sun speaks into the enlightenment of consciousness.
Okay.
right? It speaks into that. And I have this saying, which is where there is light, there is no darkness. Right. Now, what I also love about the sun when it shines something on a situation is that often when there is light and there is no darkness, we see what is trying to scatter.
Oh, I like
Right?
that.
Yeah, we
Yes.
see what is trying to scatter. So that's hence the phrase, comment, whatever, things often get worse before they get better.
Yes.
That's that.
So here's the
Right?
light being
It's the
shone.
light being shone and showing the situation,
Yeah,
and everything is
everything's
scattering.
scattering. Yes.
That's what that is. So
Yeah.
understand that that's potentially meaning that you've got more light to work with, or
Yeah.
you're shining a bit brighter. So don't be afraid of that. That's
Oh no.
how I would look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, some words that line up with the sun, we have freedom, liberation, happiness, birth, transformation, renewal. It's about your health, absolutely about your health. Abundance, it's about the beauty of life. It's light and warmth. It's also about breaking loose, right? Which kind of ties in with that freedom, but in a different way.
Yeah.
It is energy and it is wonder. Remember, the wonder comes from that curious child, right? So it can be curiosity. Interesting. So lots of different, and you may have different words for the sun, and we're going to have a look at a few cards in a moment. I'm going to start with the Rider-Waite deck, and which is this one?
This is the Modern Witch Tarot.
Okay, so the Modern Witch Tarot and the Rider-Waite both have this wall. See that brick wall?
So behind the figures,
yeah,
there's a grey brick wall.
Yeah, so that brick wall speaks into the limitations of our beliefs. And being on the other side of the wall.
So in
now,
front of the wall.
Yeah, it's like we've busted through those limiting beliefs, if you will. Now, interesting that we talk about being on the other side of that, because there is a connection to the Garden of Eden. So it's like being on that side, right? Where there's all the love and joy, right?
Yeah.
Which is what that is actually about. So sometimes that grey wall in some schools of thought is about past lives. So it can indicate a little bit of that. This might get a little bit noisy in a second.
Yes.
But yeah, in reality, we're on the other side of the old limitations and we've broke free from them, right? So we're just gonna pause this and come back in a second as soon as I work it out. And we're back.
We're back. We just had to wait for the garbage truck to go through because it gets a bit loud.
It can get very loud. All right. So one of the other symbols that I want to look at is the sunflowers.
Yes. So there's sunflowers on both.
A bit different on that.
So there's the Modern Witch Tarot.
Yeah.
So they're a little bit
Yeah, I'm just going to point something out about it. This is where some of the symbology between card to card, I don't know that it got lost, but
it changed.
Absolutely, because there's 4 sunflowers on here. There's a lot more than 4 on that one. Right now, what those 4 sunflowers stand for is north, south, east, and west. They also then tie in with the elements, which is your water, your air, your fire, and your earth. So it ties into that. And then that reconnects it back to the suits, which is your cups, your wands, your swords, and your pentacles. So that is actually what those sunflowers are. Plus the additional meaning of reminding us to follow the light. You think about a sunflower.
Well, yeah, and that's interesting. I was just looking at on this card, the Modern Witch, a lot of them, most of them are following the light, but some are not, which is unusual. Yeah. So again, it could be, you are, if we're going to read this card, you are really walking away from those that are not right for you.
Yeah, interesting. And then we look at the dragons and there's more sunflowers there, but they are all looking at the light, right? I think there's like 6 on that one, but they're all facing the light.
They are really facing the light, aren't they?
From different directions. So these little things subtly change the meanings
as different decks, different interpretations.
Do different things with the interpretation. But that's actually what the sunflowers mean.
Yes.
On the
sun cup
deck, And then we're going to look at the 21 rays here. These are the rays, right? And I don't know.
I'm going to count these.
Yeah, I thought she's going to count that. I'm just going to give her a minute and see how many there are, because I'm looking at it thinking, I don't think that's 21, is it?
19. 19 to match the card.
19 to match the
19.
card. 19.
19.
Yeah, so there's 19 to match the card number on that one.
Yes.
I can see where they're going with that.
Yeah.
There's 21 on the Rider-Waite. Now, that stands for all of the other major arcana.
Yeah, okay. So it's all leading up to.
All leading up to. So that's what those 21 rays are
Oh, yeah, okay.
on here, right? So it's about the other major arcana that are
leading and building up to, isn't it?
Yeah, or coming from, which depends which way you're going to do that. Yeah, but that's what that is. And that then speaks into our conscious attention. Are we paying attention?
Yeah.
So that's what that speaks into, the wider consciousness. Remember, because the sun card itself is about our conscious and how we put ourselves out there. So how are we putting ourselves out into the rest of our world, right? That's what that is about. Now, the sun's face itself is the collective consciousness itself. So this is what reverberates out and how we're seen, but this is that consciousness itself, that collective consciousness itself. So that then also leads into collective knowledge, right? It's that knowing. It's kind of like what you said before, that build up and what have you. Okay. So then let's look at the red feather.
Oh no, on this card, on the modern witch, she has a red headband.
Okay.
Not the feather.
Not the feather. So to me, that's a feather in the cap.
Yes.
Right. And it represents the fire and the passion. To me, that's what that is, right? Yeah, the flame and joy of life. That's what
you'll get it
represents.
out.
I will get it out. I've had trouble at the client this morning. I'm like, wait till I go away and learn how to speak. That's what I've had to do. Okay. So the child himself, we spoke about that early in the episode where we're like, it's our inner child, it's childlike, and being open to express or express openly is like the message there. What about the orange flag, right? And on some decks it's orange, on other decks it's red.
Yeah. Again.
What the fuck, right? And to me, I usually connect a color to the chakra.
Yes.
Right, is what that's about. But the orange flag, going to go with the orange.
Yeah, go with the orange.
It's vital energy. And it's the celebrating of breaking through those fucking limitations that the wall represents.
We talked about before, yes.
So that's what that is about. That's the celebration of that. Yeah. Orange is an interesting color because it also speaks into like breaking the procrastination.
Yeah.
Yeah. Breaking the procrastination.
We keep coming back to that breaking word, doesn't it? There's a lot of breaking through, isn't it?
Yeah. And thinking about the red flag now, because that shows like we've got it on this
modern witch. It's actually red.
Yeah.
Compared to the orange on the Rider-Waite. So it is very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. I see the red flag as being grounding in, because it's your base chakra, right? Grounding in the beliefs you've just busted through.
Yes.
So it's like the new beliefs are coming in and you're grounded and you're centered and you're ready to go forward. It still signifies some kind of victory because it's a flag. It's usually what a flag does, right? It has the message to carry with it.
Yeah.
So that's what I feel that is. Now, we spoke about this before too. See, we were jumping around.
Yeah, we jumped around a bit.
Talking about the reverse.
Yes.
Tren wound that up really easy, right? So it's definitely about finding the balance between the light and the dark, right? When we're reversed. And it might feel like, you know, you have to be positive all the time. That's what a reverse card can actually say to you. No, I'm fucking got to be positive all the time. And
sometimes you can't
sometimes that's not. It's dangerous to be that way all the time because it's leading into a bit of delusion.
Yes.
Because not everything is like that. Everything's cyclic, right?
Exactly.
So it's not happy days every fucking day.
No, and if you are positive, you are squashing other emotions that need to be released.
Come up and be released, right? Now you can stay in a positive state most of the time, and you can choose to ignore or choose to, you know, make a different decision about what you're seeing, and that's fantastic. We need to do that because the energies have shifted. We spoke about that before, right? The energies have shifted into this quantum model. Well, the quantum model's always worked, but now it's right in our face, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a person that feels because of all of that, you have to be positive all the time and you're not being authentic and true to yourself, then you can quickly, very quickly move through the emotion, get onto Trana. She'll help
Yes.
you with your
Yeah,
tarot and
exactly,
tapping, right? And this is where all
exactly.
this stuff can come in.
Yes.
Or there might be other things that you do, but you need to look at what's coming up, take the
Yes.
message and move on. Now, when you do that all the time, you can stay in a positive state most of the time, right?
Most of the time,
Most of the time, but it is just, let's address what's going on here.
yeah,
And then before you know it, your life just becomes ease and
exactly.
joy and grace and all of that stuff.
And if anything does come up, you're really prepared. You are well prepared to deal with it
Absolutely.
quickly.
Yeah, quickly. And I think that's the
Yeah.
key. So upside down can also represent burnt out,
Oh, yeah.
right? You know, you think about what happens when you get sunburned.
Well, yeah, and quite literally, how hot is the sun?
Yeah, right. How hot is that sun?
Yeah.
So it speaks to the imbalance when it's reversed,
Yeah.
basically. So the sun reminds us to be positive and playful, having said that. So here's some questions for you.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you do for fun?
Yeah.
What do you do for fun? And how can you be more playful?
Yes. It's interesting.
How
can
can
you be
you be
more
more
playful,
playful, right?
be more childlike, can't you?
Well, yeah, you can. And how do you shine your light into the world?
Oh, okay. How do you shine your light?
How do you shine your light
How
into
do
the
you shine
world,
your light?
right? How do you do that? Right. Well, we do it with tarot,
Yes. Well,
right?
yeah, I'm just thinking
And
what other ways.
how
Yeah.
would other people shine their light in
Yeah.
the world, right? And there's many ways to do that. And here's the thing, going back to that quantum model, right? We have anything and everything available to us right now. So think about all the amazingness that is there right now,
Yeah.
all the fantasticness that is there right now, right?
And sometimes we don't even see it. That's
we
coming back,
don't,
you know,
right?
we just trod along, you know, one foot in front of the other. Almost like we've sort of got tunnel vision sometimes, don't we?
Yeah,
We
I
don't
believe
see,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, I
So
believe so.
start opening your eyes to what wonder and joy is outside your vision.
Yep. Where is the wonder and joy?
Yeah.
How does it show up?
Or create it yourself.
Well, creative is a word for the sun, right?
Yeah, create it
So,
yourself.
absolutely.
Because you were saying the energies and now and the way the energies are changing, our manifestation that we manifest is quickly, it's stronger. So start using it because, and everybody can manifest. It's just, I think sometimes you've got to be quite specific about what you want to manifest because you can say, I want this, and it comes, you go, I didn't want that.
Yeah, see, I see it as a frequency match,
Yeah.
right? So I was listening to, might have been Pam Gregory actually,
Mhm.
and she was speaking into like the frequency of family or family frequency,
Yeah.
or friend frequency, and I'm like, that's it, right? So you got to hit the frequency, and then everything comes along, right?
Yeah.
So you just got to get your vibe right, basically.
So raise your vibration a little bit, and that will cut.
Get your vibe right, and be like the fucking sun. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it is. It's like, you know,
It is. It absolutely
find
is.
what you do for fun. Find what you do for playfulness.
Absolutely. What do you do?
Yeah, and
Think
what do you
about that.
do?
Write
Yeah.
yourself a list. Right? What else? And ask yourself the question, what else?
What else? What else can you bring into your life that lights you up?
Yeah, and what else? And what else? And what else?
Yeah.
Yeah, and keep going, and then go and do that shit.
And go and do it. Don't just write it down. Go and do it.
Go and do it. Yeah, absolutely go and do it. There's like in other cards, just look, I don't have a deck here, but like Egyptian cards, you might see the sun as Ra.
Okay, yeah.
Right, as Ra.
Yeah.
So that's the Egyptian god. Now, the sun also is connected to the resurrection of Christ.
Oh, that makes sense.
Mm.
It does make sense. Yeah, okay.
Well, there you go. So I'm going to finish on that fucking note. So I hope you've enjoyed the deep dive on the sun.
Yes.
Pop all your questions in, your comments, you know, like, share, subscribe, all the things. We appreciate you. We love you. Let us know what you got out of it.
Exactly. Yeah, and any questions or any feedback or anything, let us know. Our email address is thetarotdealers@gmail.com, but otherwise all the social medias.
Absolutely. So have an amazing day on that note, and we will catch you next time.
Bye.
Big love.